In this lesson, we are going to be talking about law of sines. And law of sines and law of cosines are what you use to solve triangles that are not right triangles. So each one kind of has its own situation. Law of sines, it has a tendency to be a little bit more straightforward than law of cosines. Usually ends up being the preferred choice, but you can't always use it. It kind of depends on the situation. So here's what it looks like. It's basically just proportions. So you're going to just basically set two of the three ratios equal to each other to create a proportion, and it doesn't matter which combination. It all just depends on what you're given. So what you're looking for to use this is you're looking to see if you can so let's say you chose this fraction equals this fraction. This was kind of your setup. In order to use law of sines, you need to be able to make one full fraction. So most likely you're picking these two because you know this angle and this side, and maybe this side but not that angle. So you're going to know two out of the three pieces. But what I'm always looking for is, can I create one full fraction? So here's kind of a real basic version of that, is if you were looking to solve a proportion, you need to have this setup where you have one full fraction equals part of another fraction, and then you can cross multiply and solve. So that's what you're looking for. So if I have this, so we're looking to find all the missing values, I don't care about drawing it to scale. I'm just going to draw a triangle, and it is what it is. And then I'm just going to label everything appropriately. So I have angle A, angle B, and side C. So side C is across from angle C, and then here's your A and B. So right now I'm looking for if I have an angle and a side across from each other. If I do, then I have one full fraction. But I don't. However, that doesn't mean that I actually don't have everything I need, because I know two out of three angles of a triangle. So I can take, to find angle C, I can take 180 minus the 37 minus the 48, and that's going to get me angle C equaling 95 degrees. All right, so 95 degrees. Okay, so there is one piece that we were missing. So now that's set up perfectly one full fraction. All right, so I know angle C and I know side C. So that instantly allows me to set up sine of 95 degrees over its side across from each other. And then I just pick a side. It doesn't really matter. So let's say we go with side A. So we know sine of 37 degrees over side A. And then we cross multiply to solve. So A times sine of 95 degrees equals 18 times sine of 37 degrees. And then we're looking to get A by itself. So we'll divide by sine of 95. And we'll be plugging this into the calculator. Now make sure your calculator is in degrees, not radians. Otherwise you're going to get everything wrong. So plug that into the calculator. That gets you 10.87. So I like to throw pieces onto the triangle just so I get a visual, because we're going to do kind of a check at the end just to make sure everything feels like it's okay. All right, and then our last thing is we're looking to figure out what B is. So we'll do the same exact starting, sine of 95 degrees over 18. I try not to take pieces of information that I found as answers, and the only reason is if I messed this up, then it guarantees the next piece to be wrong. So I try my best not to. I try to use as much given information as I can, but obviously sometimes I have to use something. The fact that we had to round here, and then we're going to use it, and then we're going to have to round again, just kind of makes the actual final answer just a little bit more off the more rounding we use. So, all right, so we're looking for side B. So we're going to do sine 48 over side B. And then cross multiply again. B times sine of 95 equals 18 times sine of 48. And then we're going to get B by itself, so we'll divide by sine of 95 again. And we put that in the calculator, and the calculator is going to give us 13.43. So let me throw that in the picture. Just here's my quick spot check of make sure everything makes sense. Back from the geometry days, your biggest angle is going to be across from your biggest side. Your smallest angle is going to be across from your smallest side. The middle angle should be across from the middle side. So all that stuff feels okay. So there's a good chance that all three of these pieces are good. All right, so that was problem one. Problem one, we're going to do problem two that's a slight bit more challenging, but we'll do that in another video.